If you're tired of the same boring breakfast rotation, these breakfast smash tacos are about to change your whole morning. So grab your hot tortillas and salsa and let's go.
The victory, but more importantly, what we want to be remembering here as we go into chapter 15 is the fact that the king of Sodom offered Abram a reward. And he basically said, listen, give me back the people that you recovered. And you can take everything, all the belongings, all the stuff. That'll be your reward. And you remember that can offer. And even once they get it, it doesn't satisfy. Once they gain the things that they were looking for, it still doesn't satisfy. I told you guys the story, speaking of muscle cars. I told you guys this story before. You know, when I was in my late teens, I was in my late teens. I wanted a particular car so badly. It was a 19... I never had more trouble with a car in my entire life. I never got more tickets for speeding. And after I had that car, which was the dream of my life, I couldn't wait to get rid of it. I really, seriously, it's just like I wanted it so bad, and then it just didn't satisfy. And that's just a picture, of the things, how beautiful and alluring. Shall come back here in the fourth generation for the iniquity of the Amorites. He doesn't wait for anything to happen. He dwells in eternity and the end of the parade, all in one view. Now, the people standing down on the street, that's like you and me, they have to watch the parade as it goes in front of their eyes. They can't see after the beginning. Sees time. It's all in view for him. But he doesn't force things to happen just because he can see time. Give this land from the river of Egypt to the great river, the river Euphrates, the land of the Kenites, the Kenizzites, the Cadmonites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Rephaim, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Girgashites, and the Jebusites. There you go. So God cut or made a covenant, if you will, with Abram. Abram didn't pass through the parts of the animals. You see, God knew that Abram would naturally get up and do that. So he put him to sleep, and yet at the same time allowed him to know that this was going on. So this dreadful darkness comes over Abram. He can't move. And God, singularly, passes through those animals in the form of this incredible fire, flaming fire pot. And Israel it did not participate in the making of that covenant. And God said, this is what I'm going to do, and he's going to do it. He has done it. He will continue to do it. And it's a beautiful thing. So chapter 15 is really a chapter of faith, where God makes this incredible, or reiterates this incredible promise to Abram. And Abram believed him. He believed the Lord, and it was credited to him as righteousness. Is he showing you the compatibility between the law and grace? Because by the law, people are trying to be saved by trying to be good. I'm going to follow the rules. I'm going to keep the law. I'm going to keep the law. And then God said, I love you. And then he accepted me. I hope. But then you never really know, for sure, because you never know if you really kept the law good enough. But what is that? It's just self-effort. Even we as Christians who accept our salvation by grace through faith, we can still create Ishmaels. Let's pray. Father, we thank you so much for the powerful lessons that we see in these chapters. Lord, the first chapter, just one of just a beautiful faith that rose up when Abram was told all that God would do. And then the expression of unbelief and flesh and self.
A contract here, and days and set out in faith moments, and maybe not like Abraham to that dramatic extent, but we can surely see the disciples having a let's go moment. Right, that person, let's go moment. They're excited. Hey, follow me. I'll make you fishers of men. What do we do about the boats? Just keep those, rent them out for a little while. promise. Now, I want to show you a very pivotal phrase in Hebrew. It's tested, but when your faith is you see,
was water. Now, so they marched 7 days through the desert. You were in when you said you would do the mission.
That part.
A lot of times, I have to preach the sermon when the feeling that I got when I received the sermon is sitting back in Thursday when I studied the sermon. But I've got, what do you do when you're on your way to a war and you run out of water? When you're trying to raise your own children, still dealing with things from your childhood. That sounds cute, but I don't know how to do it. But God says,